How's it going, everybody? This is the Nitty Gritty. My name is Chad. With me, as usual, is Leonard, and this is another edition of our random match reviews. This time, I have sent the match to Leonard, and as a result, I will go over a little bit of the history here. So, this match is the long forgotten match between Shawn Michaels and Venom from TWA, April 15th, 2000. Right, Leonard?
Yes. So at the time of this recording, we just passed the 23rd anniversary.
That's true. Yes, I didn't even think about that. So why does this match exist? So we know after WrestleMania 14 rolled around that Shawn had injured his back, landing off of the casket against The Undertaker. And he stepped away from the WWF at the time. And, I guess a lot of people weren't sure if he was ever going to return because Shawn was in a bad place mentally, physically. He had a lot of injuries. He had a lot of substance abuse issues at the time. So, a lot of people really weren't sure of his future, but that didn't stop him from continuing on with wrestling in some capacity. So in 1999, he opened the Shawn Michaels Wrestling Academy with his trainer, Jose Lothario, and they would then in turn feed talent to the local wrestling promotion, which is in Texas, called the Texas Wrestling Association. And this was where he would kind of be from time to time, and it kind of leads into the story of this match. So basically, after a long TWA championship reign, Venom, who was also known as Paul Diamond, lost the title to then ECW star Justin Credible with some aid from Shawn Michaels. After that victory, Credible cut a promo saying he couldn't represent the TWA as a true champion due to his obligations with Extreme Championship Wrestling. So he threw the title over the shoulder of Shawn Michaels, awarding him the company's belt. This made Venom very angry, blamed Shawn Michaels for costing him the match and the tribulations of his entire career. And Venom talked about Shawn screwing him 15 years prior when they were tag team partners, and that he was now then screwing him again. And Venom demanded that Shawn defend the championship against him in a Texas-style bunkhouse brawl. So in case you weren't aware, before Shawn and Marty Jannetty were the Midnight Rockers, Shawn Michaels and Paul Diamond were in a promotion called Texas All-Star Wrestling under the name American Force. They saw some sense of success there, winning tag team gold twice. They had a pretty good 2-year run. Then Shawn would leave American Force to join Jannetty, and Diamond would join forces with Pat Turner to create the tag team Bad Company.
Or Pat Tanaka.
Pat Tanaka. Yeah, this article says Pat Turner. I don't know why.
Yeah, and I don't think that's his real name. Yeah. And then Bad Company then was also the second version of the Orient Express.
Right.
That Diamond came into the WWF under a mask as Kato. So what I want to say here is that a lot of people may not think, oh, his big return match is against Paul Diamond. Shawn Michaels trusts Paul Diamond. He has worked with Paul Diamond as a tag partner and against him, wrestled against him numerous times. So if this is an injured Shawn Michaels who wanted to be in there with someone he trusted and would protect him, Paul Diamond is an excellent choice.
Oh yeah, because this is Paul Diamond is, I don't know if I would say journeyman because he's had his share of success over the years, but like this is a guy that's worked with everybody over the years and is by all accounts a trusted person in the ring. So, and you look at this match and Shawn has the long hair. And so one would assume he's still not in the greatest place at this point. He
does come out to the Heartbreak Kid music, which surprised me.
He does indeed. And so, like I said, this is a Texas-style bunkhouse brawl. He could basically just call it a hardcore match.
Yeah, it's an ECW hardcore match is all it is.
Right. So I'm going to go over some of the play-by-play here because this match, the video is like 18 minutes, 13 seconds, something to that effect. So it is a lengthy match. So basically, they also call Venom the CEO by stipulation, so he apparently won the CEO position at some point. The article I came across did not list why that was, but basically, Shawn comes out. They're both wearing, Shawn, I should say, is wearing jeans and a cut-off sleeved T-shirt. I think that's what Venom is wearing as well. It's
similar to what they would call, back in the day. I know Dusty Rhodes loved to call this like a "come as you are" match.
Yeah,
which is like come in your street clothes, dress as you would dress. Yeah.
So the two start off by exchanging blows. Then they go to the outside, and Shawn gets thrown into the railing and hit with a cookie sheet. Then Venom gets a crutch involved, and they get back into the ring. Shawn reverses a throw into the corner and hits Venom with a can lid. Then Shawn does some work with a crutch and the trash can, and he does some work in the corner and ends up taking his boot off and hitting Venom with a boot. He does a clothesline, then a pile driver on a can lid, and he then goes to get a ladder. And basically, you can see echoes of his match with Razor Ramon here. He does a lot of moves with a ladder onto Venom.
This is how I knew Shawn was hurting, because he does an elbow drop from like the second step.
Yeah.
He doesn't go all the way to the top.
Yeah.
So coming off the second step of the ladder is basically coming off the first turnbuckle. He's coming off of
that's true
3 feet maybe.
Right, that's true. They then go to the outside. Shawn hits him with a chair. There's some punches in the corner, the classic punches in the corner move, which is kind of like, again, that was another hint to me that Shawn is, trying not to do too much.
Yeah. He controls more of this than you would think, and it's because he can't take the bumps and he can't take the punishment. So Diamond takes most of the bumps here.
Yes. There's a ladder nut shot. Then there's an outside shot with the railing into the nuts, and then a shot into the head with a cookie sheet. So like Leonard said, Paul Diamond is taking a lot of damage here. There's the classic move that you put the trash can over the guy's head and body and then get hit with the chair. Then Venom would get a low blow. He would get some trash can shots in himself. They would exchange some more blows. Then they would go off onto the side where there's like a level, or like almost not a stage, but like a risen platform, shall we say. There's some tables set up, and Venom gets thrown off of this platform into the tables because Shawn ain't gonna do that.
No, and it took him a long time to set that up. And today, that's pretty pedestrian,
Yeah.
Like isn't that what Sting did? Didn't Sting do that in AEW one point, like come off of the second level through a table?
He's done it a couple times. They get those spots set up a little bit faster in AEW than they did here.
Yes, they do. But at the time in 2000, that was a crazy, crazy, crazy bump.
Oh yeah.
Today that's just something AEW does on a random Tuesday just for doing it.
Yes.
But back then, that was quite something. And it was very convoluted, but I was impressed with Diamond just taking it, just doing it. I was impressed with him doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. They would then go back to the ring. Venom would throw powder into Shawn's face and then get some shots with the kendo stick. He would then handcuff Shawn to the ropes, get some more shots with the kendo stick. Both men at this point, goes without saying, are very bloody. This would then put Venom onto the mic. He would do some trash talk to Shawn. And this is where the match takes a nosedive, because
I have in my notes hell in a handbasket.
Yeah, a run-in occurs, and based on the commentary, they're calling him Shooter Schultz, which I know is a name you love, Leonard. I know that you love the name Shooter Schultz.
Shooter Schultz. I didn't look the guy up to see who he was, but I do like the name Shooter Schultz.
Future spotlight on Shooter Schultz.
Yeah.
There's 3 failed table break attempts here. The guy tries 2 T-bone suplexes.
Yeah.
So close to the table. And I don't know why he was so close to the table. This is obviously not the fragile table that we would come to expect in wrestling. but like it
No,
just
I don't think it was scored at all. I don't
right.
know if they grabbed the wrong table or they weren't smart enough to score it. I mean, ECW existed at this point, so I don't think that table was scored. Or if it was, then the guy was hitting it on the wrong spot, totally
Right.
wrong spot.
And so Shooter Schultz unlocks HBK from the ropes, and then Shawn, probably pissed off by this point, does a running power slam into the table, which does indeed break it, followed by sweet chin music.
Yeah, well, it should be said Schultz does eventually break half the table with a power bomb.
Well, it looked like just the leg broke.
Yeah, just like the leg came off, and then Michael just yeah, with the running power slam,
Yeah.
takes out the rest. And I don't think I've ever seen Michaels do a running power slam.
No, I don't think he ever would again either. But
No.
again, these two guys trusted each other. So let me just say, I had wanted to watch this match for a long time because I came across the article I've been referencing a long time ago, and I was like, wow, I really need to watch this match at some point. And it, just kept one of those things that got put on the back burner again and again and again. Fast forward, Leonard and I start these random match reviews, and it finally occurred to me, hey, we should do this one. It'll give me a chance to watch this match. It's your basic hardcore match. This was Shawn trying to do a favor, trying to create a spotlight around TWA and, working with a guy that he's known for a long time. There's nothing fancy about it. It was, fine for what it was. But if you read between the lines, as most hardcore fans who would come across this match will, you can see why Diamond is taking most of the punishment and why Shawn isn't. But I don't think anybody ever thought that Shawn wasn't going to win. But, he does deal out a lot of punishment to Venom. So, Leonard, what are your thoughts?
To me, this was a match of like three parts. Like the first part when they start in the ring and around the ring. And I thought that was pretty good for a hardcore match of this period. I thought that was pretty good. And then you have where they brawl up to that second level and they do the table spot. And that was really contrived. It was all about we have to get from A to B to do the table, and then we have to get from the table back to the ring.
Yeah, because Paul Diamond just climbs up there for literally no reason.
Yes. And then you got the third part, which is back in the ring where Michaels gets handcuffed and Shooter Schultz comes in. And as you said, it just completely nosedives at that point because Schultz can't get the table broke and everything just falls apart. And his interference, I get the idea of we want to get this guy over, I guess, because, Shawn Michaels isn't your long-term solution here as a star.
Right.
But that was horrible. Like I would say for me, it kind of was like around 3 stars and then kind of came down to maybe 2.5. And
I agree with you totally there. Yeah.
Yeah, and then maybe I don't know if I want to say 2.25 maybe is what I would go with at the end of the day with this. I give Shawn Michaels credit for toughing it out. I'm not sure exactly how bad his back was at this point.
Yeah.
But the fact that he does manage to put something together, he should be credited for. And I would give Paul Diamond a lot of credit for taking the bumps that he did and for be willing to work with Michaels in the condition he was in and work around him, all this. So it's certainly an interesting match to see. I think with a lot of these matches, we try to find matches that either are unique matchups or unique gimmicks or unique in some degree. And I agree with you. I did not know this match existed. I did not know that Shawn wrestled this match until you brought it to my attention. And it was very interesting to watch. And I had to look up Venom to see who he was. And when I found out it was Paul Diamond, I was like, oh, because he's working like a Raven grunge gimmick kind of thing here.
Yeah.
So I didn't recognize him offhand. But when I found out it was Paul Diamond, I go, oh, well, this makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense that Michaels would do something with Paul Diamond. He's probably the handful of guys that he would want to have wrestled at this point, given the physical condition. Again, I don't know how much he's hurting, but you can tell he is. And to me, that ladder spot is the telltale sign that this is not prime Shawn Michaels. He's not coming off the top, he's coming off the second step.
Yeah, because we know that he would return at SummerSlam in an unsanctioned match against Triple H, and he would have the Dutch boy haircut, as they like to call it. and he would look a lot different. He had, I don't know if at this point he was a born again Christian, but that was certainly, what was happening during his absence. He had a lot of healing to do, both mentally and physically. So that's what makes this an interesting bump in the road, right? That this match exists at all. I would love for them to somebody to clear up the video quality of it someday, and maybe give it new life. But
I would love to hear a commentary track with Paul Diamond and Shawn Michaels.
Yes, that would make it a lot more interesting.
I believe Diamond is still with us.
Yes. We'll have to track him down for an interview. That would be an interesting. Anywho, let us know what you think of this match if you decide to watch it. It's available in a lot of places. You just type in Shawn Michaels versus Venom, Shawn Michaels TWA match. You'll find it in many different ways. And let us know what you think in the comments section. Check out our other videos, Segment Surgery, Stupid Questions, our full-length episodes. We are also available wherever you listen to podcasts. And for Leonard, my name is Chad, and we will see you next time.